In this lesson, you will learn the 10 most commonly used Arabic interaction phrases, their meaning, and how to respond to them correctly. Many of these phrases have Islamic origin or they are commonly used by Muslims or in Muslim countries. Let's start with the first one. Jazakumullahu khayra. And this phrase means, may Allah reward you with goodness. In this form, it can be used for both plural and singular. But if you use jazakallahu khayra, then it is only used for singular. There are other ways to say this phrase as well, which are juzita khayra or juzita khayra. So it can be said with only a dhamma, which is then the passive form of the verb jaza, to reward, and it can also be said with dhamma and waw, juzita, which would then be the passive of jaza, to requite. All these forms are fine and they mean similar or same things. Now, how should you respond to this? First, you can say wa iyyakum, which means and you too. And this is the most common reply. Another reply is wa jazaka, and may Allah reward you. And you can also say jazana wa iyyakum, which is may Allah reward us and you too. Number 2, hayyakumullah. This is a very common greeting in Arab countries. It is also commonly used as hayyakallah. And some people only say hayyaka. But what does it mean? Well, all of these simply mean may Allah keep you alive. So it is a greeting wishing the addressed a long life. And another variation of it is that some people say hayyakumullahu wa bayyakum. And the word bayyaka can be understood in many ways. It can mean may Allah make you laugh or happy. May Allah enable you. It can also be understood as what we call in Arabic itba', which is a follow-up word that has no particular meaning in itself except that it rhymes with the first used word to emphasize its meaning. This is a similar concept to reduplication in English, which is like saying super duper or easy peasy. These words don't really mean anything on their own except that they rhyme and emphasize the meaning. Now, Arabs also use this concept to emphasize something that they want to say, like saying hasanun basan. So hasan means good, but basan doesn't mean anything except that it just rhymes with hasan and it emphasizes the meaning. Atshanun natshan. Same concept. Atshan means thirsty. Natshan only rhymes with the first word just for emphasis. And so, hayyaka wa bayyak can also be understood as emphasis to the meaning of the word hayyaka as well. So, how do you respond to someone saying to you, hayyakumullah? Well, the most famous response used by Arabs is Allah yahayyik, basically the same meaning as the greeting itself. There are other responses used which are less common, like abqakallah, also meaning the same thing, which is to be granted a long life. Number 3, barakallahu fikum or barakallahu fik. And it is usually translated to may Allah bless you. But the actual meaning of this phrase is a little bit different from that. The word baraka means to grow, increase, or to make steady. And so, barakallahu feek would mean may Allah increase khayr or goodness in you. It can also mean to make you steadfast in khayr or goodness. And the way you respond to this is wa baraka feek, or you can just simply say wa feek, and both of them mean and the same to you. Number 4, uhibbuka fillah. And this is to express love to your brother for the sake of Allah. And so this phrase is said to someone you love because you think they do what Allah loves, and you love them for that. And the way to reply, according to the Sunnah, is saying أحبك الذي أحببتني له. I love you for whom you loved me. Number 5. تقبل الله. And it is also said تقبل الله منا ومنكم. And this phrase means may Allah accept your ibadah. It is also particularly used after Eid prayer. The proper response to it when hearing تقبل الله is saying Allahumma ameen minna wa minkum. Or you can just simply say Allahumma ameen. Number 6. في أمان الله. And another variation is في رعاية الله. And it is usually used when seeing someone off. And في أمان الله means in Allah's care. So it is as if you are saying, may you be in Allah's care. And في رعاية الله, may you be in Allah's protection. So it is a sort of dua for the addressed person. And so the best way to reply to this dua is you could say, سلمك Allah, may Allah protect you. Or حفظك Allah, may Allah preserve you. Number 7. ما قصرت. And this phrase is another way of saying thank you. And in some Arabic dialects, you will hear it said as ما قصرت. And so the reply to it is what you would say to someone thanking you. So you might say, الشكر لله, all thanks to Allah. Or لا عليك, never mind. Number 8. مرحبا. And it can also be said with tanween, marhaban. It is probably one of the most common greetings in Arabic, and probably one of the first words you learn when you learn Arabic, since it is a greeting made up of just only one word. But what does it actually mean? The word marhaba comes from ar-ruhb, which literally means spaciousness. So by saying marhaba, you are saying there is enough room for you, literally and figuratively. So it is best translated as welcome. However, many people use this word, marhaba, with the meaning of hello as a greeting. So what is the best response to this greeting? Well, if it is used with the meaning of hello, like when coming across someone in the street, for example, it is then best to respond back with the same word, saying marhaba. But if you are, for example, being invited as a guest and the host says to you, marhaban bik, it would then be more suitable to reply with akramak Allah, may Allah honor you. Number 9. How do you respond to someone making any type of dua for you? So for example, if someone to say to you, غفر الله لك, may Allah forgive you, there is a response you can use to reply to anyone making dua for you. Allahumma ameen, تقبل الله دعاءك, وإياكم, or وإياكم بالمثل. So use any of these responses if someone made a dua for you and you don't know how to respond. Finally, leaving the best for last, the best greeting is As-salam, which is Assalamu alaikum. And while saying As-salam is not mandatory, replying As-salam is mandatory. Allah says in the Quran, وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا. And from this ayah, we can also understand that you should reply with the same salam or better. So if you are greeted, Assalamu alaikum, you would then say, Wa alaikumus salam in return. And you may add, Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, if you want to. And if you're greeted, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you would then say, وَعَلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ. And وَبَرَكَاتُهُ may be added if you want to. And finally, if you are greeted with the full salam, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, you will then reply with وَعَلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. So, which of these phrases and their replies didn't you know? Let us know in the comments below. If there are other phrases that you heard and you don't know the best reply to them and they weren't mentioned in this lesson, then you can leave them in the comments and I'll include them in a part 2 lesson, insha'Allah. Thanks for watching. If you want to start learning the tajweed, then start with this playlist. And also, don't forget to check my latest book about tajweed and download the companion app. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.